So every day, this. I'm going to try not to swear. Every day that this goes on and I don't get an acceptable answer, I get madder and madder. And then I go onto Twitter and I see something else that sometimes I should just not. Should not go onto Twitter. But I do. And I saw something that just before I clicked the start this stuff button, I'm like, they're just trying to make people madder and madder. It's insidious. I'll explain after the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. Stop the damn music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. And welcome to the Dawg Knight Channel. It is Friday, the 30th of April, 2021, the last day of the month. I hope you got all your bills for the first day of the month paid. But because it's Friday, you got till Monday, at least with both places, because they don't count Saturday as a day. And they give you a little leeway. Not that I have any experience with that. I'm just telling you shit you probably already know. Anyway, I just swore. Dang it. I was trying not to swear in the first minute on the air. I held back on that last time. So let me give you a little update on my situation. Obviously, I'm back. I'm back. Live, normal. Although I was back yesterday. If you saw the show yesterday, we had a little open mic show. Oh, I need to Ryan Walters. I don't know if I ever gave you this yesterday. So there you go.
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day.
Okay, but that was really for yesterday, and thank you so much for your very generous donation yesterday. I really, really, really appreciate it. But I got to clear the Donor of the Day tab now because I didn't do that quite yet. There we go. Please, while you're thinking about it, hit the like button, share the stream. If you want to make donations, SuperChats, or Streamlabs. If you don't want to give your money to Susan, use the latter. And, hi, it's Friday. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Lady Boomer's coming back today. I got to pick her up from the airport at 5 o'clock this evening. She and her friend went to Denver for a few days of reprieve and relaxation, and she'll probably come back with a bag of Sour Patch Kids, which I am not going anywhere near. I do have my cup of reparations coffee in the new Resist Fascism cup. Thank you, Scrappy Pirate, for that wonderful design, which you can pick up at PDawgKnight.live. The merch tab's in the upper right-hand corner. Open mic. I didn't know he needed surgery. No, he didn't need surgery. Anyway, let's get into it. No, so I am still asking for more information from YouTube because in our last exchange, I didn't get the satisfactory answer that I wanted because the gentleman who put the DMCA strike on my channel basically admitted he just did it because he thought I might put something in something that wasn't in the something, meaning that he put a strike on a video that wasn't a video yet. It was a live stream that hadn't been even started yet, and he still claimed that I was using his feed, which I wasn't. We weren't broadcasting yet. There was no indication from the description of the video or anything that I was about to do that, and I'm kind of pissed off about it the more I think about it, right? There's a, that's a pretty big thing to take down someone's channel for 4 days or 5 days, actually what it ended up being, for something you didn't do. They're at least taking down. Look, my main thing that I do on this channel is live stream. And so if you take that away from me, that takes away, well, I wouldn't say my livelihood. I make I make a little bit of money on this, but it's not about the money. It's about the principle. Holy crap. You lied on look, it's when you fill out a DMCA claim, you are saying under oath, threat of perjury, that this is true and correct. Wasn't even close. So I wrote a little email to YouTube again, in which I said, quote, and I shall read it to you. I'm not going to put it on the screen. I once again request a full copy of the original DMCA claim made against my channel/video. It would be one of many possible several determining factors on whether or not I will take legal action against the person or company who made this false claim. Believe me, I am entitled, or as I said, I believe I am entitled to this information. Further, I would add that it should be of great concern to YouTube that you have people making reckless and irresponsible and perhaps even malicious false DMCA claims. Signed me. We'll see what happens. It's a major violation of the law. Well, and that was a major the law. Tell them you're going to sue. Well, I should actually, but it's the claim is so small. Although DMCA claims carry a pretty heavy duty civil penalty. Anyway, the more I think about it, the madder I get, because he was so cavalier in his answer to me. Well, it was just a mistake. You got caught up in a bunch of ones that we were doing, and channels that we thought were going to be streaming our stream, and we're not. When I made the counterclaim, he said, well, we're not going to pursue this. We're not going to pursue this? What if I decide to pursue it? If you would have pursued it, you would have been screwed. Not me. You would have. Very obvious that I didn't use any of your material that you claimed I was using. So anyway, I am considering it. I'm very, very angry about it. And I'm annoyed. In fact, so annoyed that I didn't even tweet out my stream today. I'm kind of, I don't know. It's like, in fact, let's do that. Let's do that housework while I'm talking to you. So the other part too is before I came on here, I was looking for things to talk about, because not that I already didn't have a list, but I always check right before the stream to see if there's any breaking news that people need to know about. And I saw this article, or it was highlighted by YouTube, or excuse me, highlighted by Twitter, in fact, talking about how the number of black male medical students is down over the last 40 years, and how that's just a travesty that it's down over 40 years. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit, and then I don't know. I got some other things. Let me see. Let me do this. Sorry, I hate to do this while I'm talking to you, but I have to. Is streaming live now? Okay. And what's the link to my stream? I don't even know. Let's find out. Let's go. There it is. Boom. Boom. All right. And I'll copy it in case I just put on the other ones. Copy. And we'll tweet that out. And so anyway, I would love to hear what y'all think about this. Let's see, before I move on, let me get all these tabs open. I apologize. This is something I should have done before the stream, and I didn't. So give me a moment, and we'll be good. For some reason yesterday, Parler would not open yesterday. Oh, it opens today. All right, fantastic. All right, let me, you'll just get to hear me hum while I'm doing this. Don't call it a hummer. I've been here for years. Wait, that didn't sound right. But, and also one thing weird too is all my, when I do these, all of a sudden all my thumbnails when I put these on other platforms pixelate, and I don't know why that is. It's really weird. I use a fairly high resolution. All right, that's done. Fairly high resolution photo and stuff. That shouldn't be like that. All right, so before I get into it, let's say good morning to everybody. How you doing? Let's see, who's here first? Here, let me unpin this real quick. Looks like, Patrice Ripley was here first. Good morning, my official K-pop aficionado of the PDawgKnight Channel, and you get the bell. Good morning. Also, good morning, Richard, my friend from down under, Jonathan Peterson, James PFP, Renee Mayette, Ryan Walters, what's happening, Mike Savage, Blarg. Also, select boys in the house.
Yeah, boy.
And good morning, son, Gunfox61, the administrator of the PDawgKnight Discord server for the PDawgKnight Channel. Also, good morning to my Rosie. Welcome back. Nice to see you. Also, good morning to let's see who's here. FDW Nil, Justin Anderson, Advocatus Diabli, the Devil's Advocate. Good morning also to Ride Deos. Good morning, Mr. Yes. Hick 1966. You know, I know you're not necessarily a trucker. You're usually driving around the big mobile home, but you know what? Sometimes they have horns that sound like this too. Good morning to you. Good morning, Mass Creations. What's happening? Let's see. And King on Common Law. What's up? Jim Beam, Samanumble Nation, Legit Low Talker, Evil Clipazine. What's up? Random American and Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Also, good morning, Woodcutter. Spambot 22, Jedi Ghost Bear. Why are you so angry? No, I'm not asking Jedi Ghost Bear why are you so angry. I'm saying that someone named Why Are You So Angry in the chat. How you doing? Also, if I got everybody, Scotty Dubs and Pincalo. Definitely, Pincalo's got the truck horn. All right, so there we go. And we do have our first sponsor of the PDawgKnight Channel of the morning. While I take a sip of my cup here, I'm going to read it. Thank you, Javanus Midehouse, with the 556. And we got a little 556 action in the alert, if you happen to notice that, who says, it's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Friday. Getting down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Yes. Who's that? Is that from that goofy girl who had that video? Is that song? What's her name? Something Black. Rebecca Black? Is that her name? Who knows the name of that singer? Is that her? I have no idea. Anyway, thank you so much for sponsoring the show. Again, if you want to sponsor the show, you can go to the PDawgKnight.live site there, or it'll pop up in the what the hell are my things going in here? It should be popping up in the chat every once in a while here. I don't know if my bot's working. I guess we'll find out after a while. Anyway, what's so funny, Renee? Is it Rebecca Black? Okay, I was right. I'm smarter than I look. Holy smokes. Thank you, Gunfox61, also sponsored the show today with the Deuce, saying plugging the Discord, Barney news channel for your show links, plus news in the Discord, and check your Discord DMs for a backup channel. You know, I do have a couple other channels that I barely use, particularly my what is it? What do you call it when you creepypasta? I have a creepypasta channel, but I only made 2 videos for that. I might change that to a backup channel. Also, and okay, Gunfox, I'm gonna give you a boomer moment, and then at some point you're gonna tell me how to get there. I don't even know how to check my DMs in Discord. There used to be a little thing up the top on the left that you could just click on that, and that where your DMs are. Okay, it's gone. And so maybe I'm just having a complete brain fart, or it's just a boomer moment for me. But as you know, I am the last of the boomers, so it's okay. But I promise you, I'm going to check the DMs when I figure it out. Maybe we can. Well, we'll we'll get to that. I'm not trying to tell anybody what's going on there. All right. Anyway, all right, let's get into this today. Let me just check my, oh shoot. Where's the, let me make sure this is even on, because I'd be really annoyed if, okay, these are all out. I'm going to turn that, open mic day, turn that one off, and we should be good. All right. Let's get into the story that I came across just as I was jumping onto the show here, because as I'm watching, or as I'm looking through Twitter and I'm going through Explore tab. So here's what I do every morning. I check the Explore tab on Twitter every morning to see if there's any breaking news that I should, let you guys know about. And there was a couple things. I mean, yesterday, the Oregon woman says cop raped her. She was the one who got arrested. Okay, I didn't even click that. And Matt Getz is trending and all this. But then you go on the news tab over here, and this is where I usually find breaking news, or I just scroll through Twitter, because Twitter curates their news tab too. They only show you the news they want you to know about. So as I'm scrolling down, I saw... Oh, is it even on here anymore? Where is it? Here we go, right here. Medical schools are admitting fewer black males than Native Americans. Oh, that's messed up. That has to be. That's racist. It has to be something terrible, right? They're admitting fewer black males. A comprehensive new analysis going back 40 years shows the number of students from the most underrepresented groups in medicine, black males, and Native American and Alaskan Native men and women, has declined. Well, there must be something awfully dastardly about that. There's some... It has to be a racist issue. Racism, right? It has to be. Why would they be admitting fewer black males than Native Americans? Now, as I scroll down on this little tab, then they give you people who've actually, talked about this, just people who are reporting this, okay? So you got Stat, which is Stat News, and they're the group that found this out, okay, Stat News. Then you have someone named Usha Lee McFarling, who says, my latest. Now, did she write this story? I got to check. I didn't know she wrote it. Oh, she did. Yeah, she's the one who wrote the story. Good. And so it says, my latest, 40 years, and the number of black male and Native American physicians in medical schools is falling. Experts call for urgent overhaul at medical schools, calling numbers a disturbing lack of progress. Wow. That's pretty harsh. Now, first, I think someone asked the question, the first question that came to mind. The very first question that came to mind, someone in the chat said that. Let's see, where was it? It was something about... someone said something about, well, are there fewer applying? Well, I don't know. I don't know. That's why I hope they can explain that in the article. When they say fewer, right? And then somebody Gideon Gill, while U.S. medical schools have talked for years about their efforts to enroll more students of color, the new data underscores how little progress has been made over 40 years. Same person here, after 40 years. Oh, I forgot this. Rick Burke says, after years, medical schools are admitting fewer black male or Native American students. It is absolutely dismal. Alexander Spinelli with his lovely rainbow flag here. Does he have, and pronouns in his bio, of course. Quotes this also. This is quoted from the article, I'm assuming. It is absolutely dismal and appalling and quite frankly unacceptable. After 40 years, medical students are admitting fewer black male or Native American students. report finds drop in black male and Native American students in medical schools. All right. That is something of concern, right? It's very much of concern. Okay. Well, let's check out the article because I want to see if it answers any of the questions that I have. So here we go. Here it is. Usha Lee McFarling. After 40 years, medical schools are admitting fewer black male or Native American students. Okay? Interesting. In what some are calling a persistent failure of medical schools to improve diversity, a comprehensive new analysis going back 40 years shows the number of students from the most underrepresented groups in medicine, black males, and Native American and Alaska men and women, has declined. While black male medical students accounted for 3.1% of the national medical student body in 1978, in 2019, they accounted for just 2.9%, a drop in 0.2%. That's okay. That I can see where that could be concerning. The number of black male students has dropped 0.2%, right? And then it says, without the contribution of historically black medical schools, just 2.4% would be black men. So a lot of the black male medical students are in historically black medical schools. Now, I'm curious because they don't seem to have a number here. So that means 0.5%, 0.0005, no, 0.05, 0.05, okay, 0.05%. Go to HBCU medical schools, right? I'm curious, is any of the drop in the number of black medical students, black male medical students? Oh, this isn't on the page very well. I'm sorry about that. You can't see it very well. Let me get this back, get it on the page. Jeez. I wonder if any of that drop is in black colleges and universities. I don't see anything in the article yet, but we're going to keep going. And then we get the line that's over and over. It is absolutely dismal and appalling and quite frankly unacceptable, said Demetria Rankin, an anesthesiologist who serves as Associate Dean of Admissions for The Ohio State University, Wexner Medical Center, where 25% of students come from underrepresented minority groups. Wait a minute. At Ohio State, 25% of the students come from underrepresented minority groups? What? How? And then the report was published Wednesday in the New England Journal of Medicine. Now, a whole bunch of hemming and hawing throughout this. Why this and that? Well, here, okay, I'm going to stay in the article. While U.S. medical schools have talked for years about their efforts to enroll more students of color, the new data underscores how little progress has been made and should serve as an urgent call to action, said physicians working to increase diversity. Well, how do you do that? My guess is that you would work on trying to make more black male students interested in going into medicine. So instead of, because I know a lot of males tend to are now kind of going in, if they're have the aptitude. For example, my young black male son didn't want to go into medicine. He went into computer science and now is a computer engineer at a large logistics company. Okay, I could have said, "Hey, no, son, there's not enough black males in medical schools. You need to go to medical school." He didn't want to go to medical school. He knew he could get a job that pays about as much as medicine starting out in computer science rather than medicine, and right? Okay, but that's a side. Hello, Uncle Bad Touch.
Come on, man.
So, and let's continue here. But this is a lack of progress. This black male medical students down 0.2%. Stay with me here. Every time I see stark numbers like these, Every time I see stark numbers like these, I have a moment of depression. Siobhan Westcott, an Alaska Native physician who co-directs the Indians into Medicine program at the University of North Dakota. But they remind me how much work there is to do. Now, I'm going to skip the stuff where they go into why this is important. And, black people are, there's better, black people respond to black doctors better and whatnot and all that, okay? I get all that. But as I read through this article, I scrolled down because I was just curious. Because it dawned on me almost immediately. Also, the second question that came to mind, well, do you have any numbers? Because remember, this is talking about black male students. And I thought to myself, what about black female students? And I was curious if this would give you like stats for all kinds of demographics. And the other part. Oh, here's the other part that was annoying. So down here in the article it says, Stat, this is the company that's writing this and whatever, contacted a number of medical schools that ranked lowest in diversity in U.S. News and World Report rankings to ask why they had enrolled so few students from underrepresented minority groups and what changes they were instituting to increase diversity. Why? Why did they have to? The only way you get more medical students of color into your university is that they more apply. So you're insinuating that they are just not allowing people to be medical students who want to and have the capability, right? That's not it. At least I would assume it's not it. Listen, when you're deciding who's going to be a doctor or not, and there are a lot of very talented and very smart black males out there. But I want the best to be the doctors and the pilots and even the computer science people. But they got to choose the field they want to be in. For example, my young black male son went into computer science instead, even though he very well could have went into medicine. He didn't want to go into medicine. He wanted to go into computer science. But... and then they're saying, many said they were taking aggressive steps to improve and agreed their numbers had been poor, often because their admission committees were not diverse or welcoming. They relied too heavily on MCAT scores to rank candidates. Hey, I got to break some news to you. MCAT scores are a very good indicator of how well you will do as a medical student. I know no one wants to hear that, but that does. So listen here, the number of black, Hispanic, Native American, Hawaiian, or Pacific Islander physicians remain far below their percentage of the U.S. U.S. population. Again, how many are going into medicine? Remember, in many places around this country, unfortunately, they're doing such an abysmal job of educating people. Of course, sometimes to be educated, you have to want to be educated, but we also have a huge percentage of us who are not graduating from high school in the first place. Well, you can't go to medical school if you never graduate high school, right? So there is a select few that are going, and guess what? For black students who do really well, really take it seriously and get good grades, good grade on tests, whatever, the sky's the freaking limit. That's what we should be teaching black kids. But I've gone off course again. Let's go back to this nonsense. And then this jackass, whoever it is, the data speaks for themselves, said Eli Adachi, the New Studies senior author and the former dean of Brown University, Warren Alpert Medical School. It's a clarion call for action. What's the action you're going to take? The only action you can take is to maybe put your efforts into making sure that kids start young and take school seriously and achieve all the way through the school. It's not the school to prison pipeline. It's the VAG to prison pipeline. Parents are the ones who make sure kids do what they're supposed to do. And then if they're interested in medicine, great. Bring them on and get them into that MCAT and make them be successful as medical students. But you got to get there first. There's a whole lot of steps between admitting more people into medical school and from where they start. There's a whole lot of steps there. You don't just say, okay, hey, let's find some black people black males. They were very specific here, and I'm getting this. It's taking me a long time, but I'm going to get to it. There's a lot of steps in between. Let's get more black doctors and childhood. There's been a whole bunch of steps in there that start probably in first, second, or third grade before you even get close to that medical school part. And especially since black males are the ones who are not graduating the most too. So, hey, let's start with that part before we start worrying about how many black med students we have. But I'm not done. All right, so as I scroll through this article, I'm looking here and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is terrible. It's awful, awful, awful. It really sucks. Oh, Asian men. There was a marked increase in the number of white men in medical school from 61.2% to... Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Hold it. Look at this. Not increase. It's not just black men who their decrease in medical schools. Listen to this. I'm going to read this whole 2 paragraphs now. The analysis showed medicine has achieved a measure of gender equity, with women now constituting half of all medical students, compared to less than a quarter in 1978. I wonder, do they just fill up the medical schools with everybody they want, or do they keep a select number? Do they keep only a range of students? Because if women's got up more than 25%, amazing. Okay, again, but gains have not been equal among all women. The number of white women in medical schools increased from 18 to 24% of all students. Now, someone figure out what that percentage increase is. 18 to 24%. So let's see, 24. It's about a 25%. If you say 20, let's see, 20%, 18, 16, 4, roughly 25% increase of white women in medical school. While the number of Asian women increased from 0.8% to 11.7%. That's like, holy cripes. That's like 120% increase in the number of Asian women in medical schools. I wonder whose spaces they're taking. Probably the males of all races, right? And let's see, the increase in the number of black and Hispanic women in medical school. Oh, now they say it was more modest, okay? 25% more white women, 120% more Asian women. Black women enrollees increased from 2.2% to 4.4%. Wait a minute. That's 100% increase. While Hispanic women enrollees increased from 0.7% to 3.2%. Is that 300% increase? That's almost a 500% increase. 400%, just over 400% increase. So if you go by the amount of it, but they're just saying, modest. I think 100 and whatever something, Hispanic women and Asian women, 120% increase in the number of Asian women in medical schools. What is it? 400, like a 450% increase in the number of Hispanic women in medical schools. I wonder if that's reason why black men are down 0.2% of enrollees, because they went from 3.1% to 2.9%. So look, and here's the other thing. So they're saying, okay, so, and wait a minute. I forgot about the white men.
Why though?
Whoops.
You're fucking a white male!
There was a marked decrease in the number of white men in medical school from 62.1% to 25.7%. Whoa.
Wow.
So their numbers have decreased by half. Wow. And Hispanic male medical students increased from 1.7% to 3.4%. So they've more than doubled. No. Since in 78, 1.7% to 3.4% in 1982, but has remained relatively stable. So here's the problem. As you read this study, the percentage of black medical students overall has gone from 5.3% to 5.3 to 7.7%, or 7. Is that right? 4, 3, 2.9. Yeah. So the number of black medical students has increased by almost 70%. Just not black males. So I ask you, when you read the title of this article, after 40 years, medical schools are admitting fewer black male or Native American students. What's the purpose of this article? If overall, black medical students are up roughly 70% from where they were in 1978. Now, it's still not a huge percentage of all medical students, but are black people being encouraged to go into medicine, the ones who graduate high school, go to college, get a degree, probably and go farther into higher education? Are they being encouraged to go into medicine? Because the pool isn't nearly as big. The percentage of students in urban communities in particular, which is dominated by black students, the pool of people who even graduate high school is not as big. But certainly this title's trying to tell you that there's something really wrong. And again, notice it's not the actual numbers that they're saying either, okay? They're not telling you that any of the numbers. They're only telling you the percentage of total medical students, which also begs the question, and again, they're doing percentage of total enrollment. Let me ask you something, whoever did this study. What's the status of total enrollment since 1978 to 2021? Total number of medical students. Okay, because those percentages only mean something if it means something somewhat if you narrow it down strictly to black males and not all black students. Because obviously, if you look at this, the number of minority or, whatever you want to call them, POC, BIPOC, whatever the hell you want to call it, the numbers clearly increased quite a bit, especially Asian women, Hispanic men and women in general. So if you're worried about, oh my gosh, there's just not enough people going into medicine, but they're not, but black males going into something else? Are they have some? Because we know that medicine is one of those areas in STEM that women seem to be going into more. We always complain about STEM and whether or not there's enough women in STEM. Medicine is STEM, right? Veterinarian science is STEM, right? That's a STEM field. You know that women make up almost 85% of all people going into veterinary medicine? That's a STEM field. Why don't we have more black males going into veterinary medicine? In fact, when I was growing up, we had pets, and in fact, we had a couple horses too. And our veterinarian was a black man. He was one of the wealthiest black men in Omaha at the time. He had a huge veterinary practice and took care of animals for people of all races. Went to my church too. Pretty cool dude. In fact, I used to mow his lawn because they had a huge yard in a very nice neighborhood, and they paid me to mow their lawn. But this is just one of those, again, I think they might be pushing a problem that isn't a problem. I mean, and if they're serious about getting more people to go into medicine, they got to start before they get into college. They got to start way before they get into college. They can't start by going, oh no, we don't have enough black male medical students. We don't have enough black males graduating from high school. But nope, they just want to say, oh no, we need this. It's interesting. A lot of and I'm gonna guess that in our medical schools, and again, a lot of black males who are going into college are going into STEM. I noticed that when my son was in school, that there was a lot of the students who went to my son's university, which is a small private university in St. Paul. A lot of the black males that I knew, like the guys he played in basketball with and other whatever, a lot of them were in computer sciences, or if they were in tech, they were in either computer science or something like that. So it's, I don't know. It's, I think this is, again, one of those things. They just try to manipulate you and try to talk about how she's implying that there's a racism angle to this. Nah, there's not. Absolutely. All right, let's move on. Thank you, Uncle Stepdad, for joining the show. How you doing? And Uncle Bad Touch and Uncle Stepdad are here. A&M only accepts women to their vet degrees. Really? Which A&M? There's a lot of it. Are you say Texas A&M, or there's several schools that are A&M. I'm going to assume Texas A&M. Usually when people say A&M, they mean Texas, but only accept women. Really? Is that true? They don't accept any men into their veterinary programs? That's weird. I wonder why that is. It's a field dominated by women right now. They should be trying to find out why there's not more black males going into veterinary medicine. I mean, based on this article. Anyway, all right, let's see what else I found today. That one just it's so obvious that they're just trying to get you to be mad about some shit. So anyway, someone just mentioned this. Might want to watch. YouTube just did this to your channel. Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out. Well, I'll find that out later. Thank you, Swirl Blue, who sent that to me. Thank you real quick to Tyler F., Scribe Light, Dog Thrapple, and Jedi Ghost Bear for retweeting my announcement of the show today. If you would be so kind, consider sharing the stream out on whatever social media you like to use. It really does help. I've actually, this last few weeks, I had a stagnation of people joining the channel, but over the last few weeks, probably another 15 have subscribed. It's funny because I'm looking at my feed here on Streamlabs. They give you a feed of everything that goes on in your channel, and I've had like 20 new Twitch subscribers, and I've only streamed on Twitch once, so that was pretty cool. But a lot of it was people who already who follow me over here, but about half were not, so that was weird. Anyway, good morning, Rod Line. How you doing? Also, Katie Did Skates in the house. Uncle Stepdad, who just sponsored the show with the deuce on Super Chat. Also, Humble Clay, what's happening? Random American, I can't remember if I said hi, so I'm going to say it again. Also, I think I got caught up there. If I didn't or I haven't mentioned, don't worry. I'll notice in a minute. People's Front of Canada, Justin Anderson, hello. And John Smith, say hi to Elizabeth for me. He keeps tabs on Elizabeth Warren for me because, they're kind of tight. That's one of those jokes you just got to think about, and it's actually kind of funny, even if I say so myself. I made that up. By the way, I do have my cup of reparations coffee in the new Resist Fascism cup, available at PDawgKnight. PDawgKnight.live, down there in the description, whatever. It's in the upper right-hand corner of that website, so you can check that out. Then one more notification. Also, TC shared out the show. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right. I'm less prepared for the rest of the show because I spent so much time on that. So we're just going to do some random bookmarks that I've been bookmarking. Let's see. Oh, good Lord. Let's see. So, okay, we already got about the Kamala Harris story on the books. We turned it out to be false. We knew that. Joy Reid double masking while jogging, even though she's vaccinated. Oh my gosh, Joy Reid's such a moron. MSNBC's, hang on a second. Let me put it on here. MSNBC's Joy Reid admits to double masking while jogging, even though she's vaccinated. Now, so the CDC, Fauci the other day was talking about Joe Rogan talking, and he mentioned that, well, maybe you don't need to have a mask outside, and if you're not near people, you don't need to have since when did you have to have masks inside anyway? But 2 days after he talked about that, the CDC comes out and says, well, most people don't need to have masks outside. Duh. And especially if you're by yourself, or if you're driving your car alone, or if you're walking down the street with your wife, or you're walking your dog. You don't need a freaking mask for that. You're not running into people, and you're already socially distanced. If you're by yourself, why the hell would you need a mask outside? But the powers that be, why do I have Joy? Oh, never mind. The powers that be now say, the CDC, oh, well, maybe people don't have to have masks outside, whether they're vaccinated or not, blah, 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 blah. Well, oh, hello, Zach Osborne. Hello. A bunch of people popping in all of a sudden. MC's in the house.
Stop. Hammer time.
And TC's in the house. And Brian has opinions in the house, a.k.a. Broken Baller. Hello. How are you? So anyway, Joy Reid, freedom. Remember that thing about Kamala Harris when she told the same story as, she stole a story from somebody about she was in a cradle at a thing and someone asked her what she wanted and she said freedom. And it was actually a story she stole from, I think, Martin Luther King. Anyway, despite being 100 vaccinated against COVID-19, a.k.a. the stupid 19, MSNBC host Joy Reid on Tuesday admitted to wearing not one, but 2 masks while jogging in the park. Her practice runs counter to the Center for Disease Control's new outdoor guidelines for fully vaccinated Americans. Dr. Gupta, so here she is. Dr. Gupta, I am one among the fully vaccinated joined Team Pfizer. And I did go jogging today in the park, and this was the mask I wore, explained, holding up a cloth mask with a doctor's mask underneath. Most of the people I saw in the park was packed. I'd say like 95% of those people still had masks on. Well, they're fucking stupid. I swore now, so the dam has broken. Look out. There are people who are getting really upset about that. I won't name them. No, but I don't care. If you wear a mask, I don't care if you're stupid. I'm just not going to be stupid with you. Anyway, should people be freaking out that some people like myself who are vaccinated are still wearing masks outdoors? Should we do that? The MSNBC host asked. Gupta replied, definitely not. I think you're going to see residual masking based on personal preferences for months, if not years, after this pandemic is over. Nobody should judge anyone else's personal health decisions. Well, no, but I can still laugh at you and point. You're stupid. But you know what? Hey, you know what? Look, the whole mask thing, I'm beginning not to give a shit. See, I told you the dam's broken. But I believe that perhaps maybe it's time for the maskaholics to leave those of us who aren't wearing masks outside. Now, let me back up there. I made a I made a flub in what I said. Hello, Spambot22. When a place of business where I go to says you need to wear a mask, I wear a mask. If I will respect your desire to have me wear a mask inside your business. I will not wear a mask outside of your business, and I will take it off as soon as possible when I don't need to be wearing a mask. Now, it was interesting. It so much varies from state to state because, as I told you maybe I didn't tell you because I haven't been streaming. When I was down in Iowa last weekend, the mask mandates or whatever were very, very lax. As in, the first place building I went inside of when I was down in Iowa, when I was driving down to Iowa, stopped in a Culver's in Mason City, Iowa. And I went to go walk into the restaurant. I grabbed my mask because I was getting out of the truck, and I saw the big family walking by, and none of them had masks on. And that's all I'm going to tell you about Joy Reid. Hang on. And none of them had masks on. And I'm like, oh, man. Maybe they are not so... I got to be gentle with this. I was going to say something Luresque about the mask wearing. And I took my mask with me just in case. And I would open the door to Culver's. And I'd look inside. And the only people in there wearing masks were the people who worked there. Nobody else had masks on, and nobody complained. Because if you go to a place where I live, and you're someone going in and they don't have a mask on, there's going to be 3 or 4 people who go, "Put your mask on." Put your mask on. Mask. Not that that's happened to me. But I was in a Sam's Club one day, and someone was walking around without a mask. They must have walked in the door with a mask because they ask you to put a mask before you go in. But at some point, they took the mask off, or they put it down over their chin or something. They were breathing or talking on a phone or something. And I swear I heard someone say it. I turned around because someone said, "Put your mask on." I heard it from back there, and I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. I was about ready to get my phone out. I thought we were going to have a World Star thing. But no, the guy's like, "Oh, shit, I forgot to put it back on." He put it right back on. But I'd be like, mind your business. Anyway, so Joy Reid. Okay, that's all. That was enough of that story. Welcome to Costco. I love you. All right. So, but I'm not anti-mask. If like I said, well, I should qualify that too. I am I can't say it out loud on YouTube. Let's just say that there's a dubious correlation between mask wearing and COVID cases. And in fact, the latest thing I heard was that so they have this whole thing about social distancing, right? And you're supposed to social distance when you're outdoors. You're not supposed to do this, not do that. But now, because what's going on in Texas, right? They opened up the state, and then the number of cases haven't gone up. Hello, Lindsay. Nice to see you. The number of cases hasn't really gone up. In fact, it's dropped precipitously in some of these other states where it's not. They didn't have this big surge after they went free, and even Fauci's saying, "Oh, they just don't understand it. They don't understand it." Well, I thought you were the expert. I thought you understood everything. I thought we should listen to everything you say. But okay, where was I? Something about the mask thing. Face diaper. Now I'm so distracted. There's no real correlation, though. between whether I know what I'm saying. So they've had this lockdown policy all this time. They don't want you to go anywhere. They want you to stay in your home and don't do this and don't go interact. But now they're figuring out that the people who are getting COVID or the stupid 19, they're mostly getting it indoors, and the whole 6 feet apart thing doesn't matter. If you're indoors, it doesn't matter where you are indoors. It doesn't matter if you social distance indoors. You're probably going to get it indoors. So people should have been outside all the time. And they're worried about the spring break people in Florida and the people up at Sturgis, and worried about the people who are in that pool in the Ozarks. Well, they didn't get any major cases from any of that. They've figured out now. And obviously, Texas, well, they're outdoors all the time. Sunlight, man. Sunlight. It's weird how it's... Is Michigan a fairly cloudy state? I know Washington is. California, well, there's a lot of numbers, but percentage-wise, they're low on the case per million total, per capita, whatever, and deaths per capita, even though they've had a lot of them. New York, however, doesn't have the same excuse. I wonder. Plus, especially New York City, because the buildings cause shadows and stuff. I'm wondering about the sunlight factor. Just interesting. So anyway, thank you, RVA Dar, for tweeting out the show, for retweeting my tweet of the tweet. Oh, they're messing with something on YouTube. All right, I'm going to have to read that article because it's probably going to affect me too. All right, let's see what else I had in my bookmarks here real quick. And I'm doing really good for time too. There's a lot of cringe on Twitter. So remember the what do they call it? What do they call it? MAGA choir or something like that? Remember the MAGA choir? The three women singing songs about Trump and how much they love him and yada yada yada, as far as the during Trump. And as much as I appreciated the president at the time, even though I didn't vote for him at the first time around, and as much as I agreed with him with policy, I really never was one of those MAGA people. And I'm not saying MAGA people as a derogatory. I'm just saying I wasn't necessarily interested in buying a MAGA hat, and I was skeptical of Trump when he was first elected, and he actually grew on me as far as his the actual policy and governing that he did. His style has never been my favorite, but it didn't bother me. But the MAGA choir, remember the MAGA choir, the grifter choir? Yeah, MAGA choir. I've always found them to be major cringe. I just thought that whole thing. Now look, not so much the MAGA rappers. There's a couple MAGA rappers who had some great flow. Actually, their music, like, what's the dude? Never mind. I'm not gonna try to think about it. Some of the MAGA rappers were really good, but the MAGA choir was cringy because it was cultish, and it was just weird. And I was like, okay, is there anything going to be like that from the left when Joe Biden's president? And oh my God, there's somebody named Missy Modell. Now last year, she did this. Here, let me put it on screen now. She did a song for Andrew Cuomo, and I'm not even sure. I might get music strike for this. I don't care. Which a music claim, excuse me. So someone will claim the video for the music. This weirdo made a music video, and I'll show you just a little bit of it, and this will be in the tabs. Oh shoot, I got to make sure I do all the tabs too today. let's go right here. Okay, so this right here, you're gonna, I'm just gonna give you a small taste of it because, in fact, I could probably argue that I'm making commentary on this. But listen to this, and you be the judge of whether this is cringy, cultish, and so on and so forth. Okay, so first of all, as you can tell, she is praising the first word out of her mouth. Whoa, Mo, with little Britney vibe, right? Little Britney takeoff, little Britney, whatever. Here we go. That just there you are now, and she's like, oh, like she's oh, never mind. That wasn't a really good stop, but anyway. Okay, really? In fact, my pause game, she's so into you. That's nerve-wracking. Oh yes. See, someone says please don't, and now I just want to do it more. Okay, Andrew, I'm so into you. Why? Because, oh, by the way, I'll tell you at the end. I'm quarantining. What should I do? Okay. That's why I drink. Oh, no, we haven't even started. I wish it was after whatever, because I would be probably having to have a cocktail during this. Remember that she made this last year. You're leading us now. The world is ending, but I can't hear a sound. So she was desperate to find something that rhymed because that sentence really doesn't make any sense. But, you know, this is what it is. Okay, now I don't know really why she put on the satin pants here, but whatever. She's trying to be sexy and Britney-like, so I get it. Every time you look at me... What happens every time when Andrew Cuomo looks at you? Okay, all right. So enough of this. You can if you really feel like you need to watch this, you can watch this on your own. I'm going to leave that tab in the description down below, and all within the one tab link that'll have all the articles and things that I do on here. Anyway, it goes on and on and on, her praising Andrew Cuomo. Now, what's fascinating, this one particular video, though, of Andrew Cuomo, because she has several videos like this on her, I think it's on her TikTok and on her, whatever she puts this shit. But she took this one down. Oh, Saki Bomb Girl. Is that what they call her? I don't know. Her name's Missy Modell. She took this one down. Now, I wonder why... she would take the one about Andrew Cuomo down. Could it be that Andrew Cuomo, they found out a few things about Andrew Cuomo that probably she doesn't want to be praising? Is that possible? I don't know. But she has another one. This one's, here's the Dr. Fauci one. You want to see that? You're gonna anyway. Here's what she did about Dr. Fauci. Let's see. Oh, this starts right out. Whoa. I'm your biggest fan. I'm trusting everything you tell me. Oh, there's are. She really likes Andrew Cuomo. At least she did. I don't think she likes Andrew anymore, though. I really don't. I think that perhaps she having second thoughts about Andy because she took him down. Don't take that the wrong way. Really? I think I agree with the ranting monkey. He looks like a gnome. An evil gnome. Okay, so anyway, I'm not going to continue playing this. I just can't. So here's the deal. If anyone ever talks about the MAGA choir, just mention Missy Modell. She's a fascinating one. So I'm gonna leave that one up on the. I'm gonna leave that up. There's both of those videos are the one. Now she has a new one out, and I can't even remember what it is. But is there one about? Did she the one who did the Barbie girl one for Pfizer? I don't know. It might be. Let me see. Let's look it up. Let's go. Barbie girl. Let's see if that brings it up. Or Pfizer. Oh, maybe she be Pfizer girl. Let's see. Pfizer. Pfizer girl. Let's see. Is this the same chick? I don't know. Okay, it's not. How do you spell Pfizer? Okay, well, anyway, there's another one. Oh, is it P-H? How do you spell Pfizer? It's P-F-I-Z-E-R, isn't it? It's awful. Eric July played it yesterday. Yeah. Okay, you get the idea. So there's plenty of cringe and cultish behavior on the left also. That was my big point. Let's see here. Apparently, P-F-I-Z-E-R. Exclusive, Pfizer begin exporting U.S.-made COVID-19 shots abroad, starting with Mexico. I don't know if that's good or news or not. Oh, here's one for you. And this is not so much cringe, but it kind of annoyed me. And being a person of basketball, I'll just leave it at that. A person of basketball. So they've got Good Morning America tweeted this out last week, and I didn't see it last week, but I just saw it yesterday, so I'm bringing it up to you. Fourth grade basketball prodigy dreams of being the first female NBA player. And when I saw this, so being a basketball coach, and I used to spend a lot of time training kids and whatnot, and every year, someone would try to bring up some kid who is going to be the next basketball prodigy, and they're in third grade, and whatever. First of all, let me tell you something about kids, because this is a really weird, and they put her on Good Morning America, and she has some skills, definitely. I'll take the sound off of this. But so she's got some good dribbling skills, and there's a lot of kids who have great dribbling skills. And apparently she is playing, I think she's playing varsity basketball as a fourth grader. Maybe she's, okay, I shouldn't say varsity. She's playing high school basketball as a fourth grader, right? And AP Park, already a star player. Let's see, what does this say here? As a fourth grader on this high school. Oh, she says she's on a high school varsity basketball team. Okay, and I'm thinking, okay, great, right? So they're talking to her on Good Morning America. She wants to be the first female NBA player, right? There was a female NBA player in the 80s. No, there wasn't. You're thinking of Ann Meyer. She tried out for the NBA, but she did not end up playing in the NBA. She ended up playing for the Harlem Globetrotters. There's not yet There may happen someday. I'm not thinking likely, though. Because, look, the men in the NBA are the best male athletes in the sport. And as far as strength, speed, jumping ability, athleticism, explosiveness, there hasn't been a woman anywhere near that yet that could even make it in the NBA, period. There's not one. And don't try to tell me if you see this and you're being sexist. No, it's just a fact, okay? There's the top female basketball player in the world, maybe could play at the boys' high school level. Maybe. There's just a difference in strength, speed, and whatever, and the game is just different. And it's not a slight on women. I'm one of those people, one of the rare people who enjoy watching women's basketball. I coach women's basketball. I coach girls. I coach boys, girls. I coach all, both genders. That can get me in trouble. And there's a complete difference in the level of skill. Once men and women, girls and boys, get past about fourth grade, or third grade, actually, because I remember I had a third grade boys team that I was coaching, and we went in scrimmage one of the sixth grade girls teams and blew them out of the water. The fourth grade boys were already faster than the sixth grade girls and more skilled. And it's nothing against girls. It's absolutely not. Could a woman make it? Perhaps at some point, but she will never excel in the league. Yeah, exactly. And the idea that you're saying some fourth grader, you put a fourth grader on Good Morning America talking about dreams of being the first female NBA player, you don't even know if she's going to play basketball past seventh grade. At this point, she might decide she likes something else better. For example, I had a daughter who was a very, very, very good volleyball player and was promising, and it was at a high school where they had a great volleyball program. And, after her freshman year playing volleyball, she decided she wanted to do theater instead. And I'm like, well, good for you. I'm fully support it. Do something you love and you're good at, and if you're good at that too, do that too. And she ended up, being great and enjoying and having so much fun in that part of her life. You don't know if this girl will even make it into, she's now, granted, she is playing high school basketball now as a fourth grader, which is surprising, because even that's really young to be playing high school basketball. Like, I've seen seventh graders who've played high school basketball, and most school district sports programs don't even allow anyone under like sixth or seventh grade to play high school. So the idea that she's a fourth grader playing high school basketball is pretty amazing. Now, obviously, she has the dribbling skills and whatnot. But the idea that she's dreaming of playing the NBA, don't put that pressure on a kid like that. I've seen so many kids who this is one of the top prospects in the country as a third grader. You don't know every third grader in the country. Just say that. And they may burn out. I remember when my kid was in fourth grade, the best fourth grade player in the state. And he is going to be the best player. And everyone's saying, he should be getting college offers now. And I'm like, he's a freaking fourth grade. The kid never grew. He barely made it to 5'2". And and everyone outgrew him and outstrengthened him and out-everythinged him. And he stopped playing basketball by the time he was a sophomore in high school. But he was the best when he was in fourth grade. Whippy. Doesn't mean anything. So, I just found that fascinating that this is another one of those things they're highlighting on Twitter, because Twitter is just everything, right? Or even on Good Morning America, that even makes it worse. I've seen so many of these kids go nowhere. Or I remember one of the kids, they had him, the best sixth grade basketball player in the nation in sixth grade. And then He did end up playing, I want to say, Division II college basketball, but wasn't a superstar, but he was a good player all the way up. If you even make it into a Division II or Division III college basketball team, you are a great basketball player. You are like in the top 2 to 3% of all basketball players in the country. If you make it as far as any level of college basketball. But there's still thousands of people better than you, or hundreds at least, hundreds of people for sure, maybe thousands of people better than you. And if you enjoy it and you play it to your heart's content, good for you. Fantastic. Ann Meyer signed an official contract with the Pacers, so no, this little girl won't be the first female NBA player. She did sign a contract. She never played, though. She did sign a contract, and but never made a roster. But yeah, but she was the first. And Ann Myers was an amazing basketball player. She was their ball handling skills, her passing, she had great vision. She could shoot. She was fantastic. That was when I was a kid. I remember Ann Myers. She was fantastic. Even if Ann never played, she was officially signed a player in the league. Oh, I'm not arguing with you. She is the first. Absolutely. Israel beat it to us, but to hear the marking will be fun. So anyway, I don't know about any level of college basketball. It's hard to play college basketball. It's way hard. I see kids all the time. I'm in a state where our off-season basketball is huge, and I see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids every weekend out playing their AAU ball and summer tournaments and all that stuff. And really, a really small percentage of them ever play any level of college basketball. I'm from the state with Tyus Jones and who's the kid from Gonzaga, Jalen Suggs. He's from Minnesota. There's the number one prospect in the country right now, who's going. Another kid, a 7-footer that's going to Gonzaga's from here in Minnesota. But anyway. All right, let's go back to the bookmarks. Oh, I got more notifications, more bookmarks. Okay. Thank you, RVIDar, who says you look good for 108. That's in my that's in my Twitter feed. Let's see. I'm running out of time. What else did I want to do? Oh, have you heard about the raid on Giuliani's place? Little news about that. Let me put this out here. From the New York Post. Rudy Giuliani says the raid may be tied to a voicemail that hinted at a burner phone, according to a report. Now, there was another thing. This wasn't Giuliani's saying too that wasn't related to anything doing with Ukraine, because a lot of people are speculating about that. But according to the New York Post, the feds may have been spurred to raid Rudy Giuliani's Manhattan apartment and office based on a voicemail he left a former business associate lawyer in which he hinted at having a burner phone, according to a report. Joseph Bondi, the attorney for ex-associate Lev Parnas, in December submitted a court motion that included the transcript of the voicemail the former New York mayor left him in November 2019, according to Newsweek. Joe, it's Rudy Giuliani. The message starts, according to a transcript the mag said was made public last year. I'm calling to see if we can talk either about or with Lev. I have my lawyer with me, but you can call me back at redacted phone number. That's redacted phone number. He reportedly says, adding, that's soon to be gotten rid of number. Okay. Bondi told Newsweek that he can confirm the veracity of the statements that I made in reply motion, but declined to comment further on matters related to Giuliani. A source familiar with Giuliani's previous legal efforts suggested to Newsweek, on the condition of anonymity, that the feds may be pursuing evidence of violations of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act or the Foreign Agents Registration Act. Let me guess. Okay, I'm done. Why do you think they're really going after Giuliani? Anybody have a suggestion? Anybody have a suggestion why they might really be going after Giuliani? I can't imagine that 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 anything would be restricting or why they'd be going after Giuliani. Anyway, here's a nightmare. Here's a nightmare for you. Because, you know, there's a lot of different stupid 19 restrictions in different parts of the world, in different states, and sometimes those restrictions can just change on a dime, right? Well, new stupid 19 restrictions force mid-flight passengers to quarantine. This is fantastic. Customers aboard a Virgin Australia flight were forced into coronavirus quarantine after the nation's travel restrictions changed while they were in mid-flight. Starting at midnight on April 24th, the Perth and Peel regions of Western Australia had planned a 3-day lockdown period following Possett's stupid 19 outbreak. In response, authorities in the eastern state of Queensland announced that anyone arriving to the region from the west would be required to enter a 2-week quarantine period before their release into the general public. Passengers aboard flight VA469 on April 23rd for travel from Perth to Brisbane in Queensland were originally scheduled to land hours before midnight the next day, when the new lockdown restrictions would go into effect. However, a mechanical failure delayed the Virgin flight by 5 hours, making their new arrival around 1 a.m. The shift guaranteed that those on board would have to quarantine for 14 days in a local hotel before resuming travel in the region. We know prevention measures can be inconvenient, but they are necessary to protect Queenslanders, said Dr. Jeanette Young, Queensland's chief health officer, in a statement to local press. The Queensland government also promised passengers they would cover the cost incurred during their quarantine. Well, that's good. Somebody would be getting a sternly written letter if that happened to me. Later, officials walked back their orders after hearing that the Perth outbreak had been contained to just 3 local residents, giving Queensland the go-ahead to release the quarantining travelers just 3 days. After just 3 days, just 3 days. Hey, we're only gonna lock you up for 3 days. It doesn't matter. And a negative coronavirus test. So apparently, most of those people were just got to go on their merry way after 3 days. But God, could you imagine? Could you imagine that happening? You're in the middle of a flight. The rules change mid-flight. Oh my gosh, that would suck. All right, let me do one more thing. Oh, Cuomo's mad at de Blasio. Now, this is fascinating. Andrew Cuomo apparently is slamming the New York mayor, Bill de Blasio, his reopening plans. Now, wait, look at this headline. This is a quote from Cuomo. There is no person who will safely reopen faster than myself. Really? How about them nursing homes, Andrew? Shortly after New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio on Thursday announced that the Big Apple's economy will be reopened on July 1st, Governor Andrew Cuomo mocked the timeline. Maybe Cuomo needs to go to Texas and see what's happening down there. Anyway, during a press conference, Cuomo was asked about de Blasio's reopening timeline, with which the governor disagreed. I think these guys, I want to get those two in the same room together. Have you noticed over the last few months, they've been chirping at each other? Just I want to see them go to blows. I just do. Quote, I want it opened up on Monday. I want to open up New York City on... What? I want to open New York City on Tuesday. I want to open on Wednesday. I want Buffalo opened up on Thursday, Cuomo said, according to the New York Post. There's no person in the world who will safely reopen faster than myself, Cuomo said. I'm not going to predict the future, but if you said to me July 1st, I'd say I hope to get there before July 1st. Although Cuomo wouldn't give a definitive reopening date for New York City, he said it should be sooner than July 1st. Oh, he's actually criticizing for not doing it soon enough. Well, maybe there's hope for Andrew after all. Hello, Mr. Scott. Hello, Sheograph. I I don't want to wait that long. I think we can do it before that governor said, oh, man, what happened to this guy? Is he also resisting fascism? I don't know. When asked for comment, de Blasio's press secretary, Bill Nyhart, hit back. I don't care what a serial sexual... Oh, my God! I'm sorry, I laughed in the middle sentence. I don't care what a serial sexual harasser and assaulter and someone who covered up the deaths of thousands of people at nursing homes has to say about anything, Neidhart told New York One reporter Courtney Gross. Oh, my gosh! Shots fired! Oh, my gosh. I should have some shots on my little sound thing here, but I could just... Maybe I should just do a shot after that one. Shots fired! My goodness. De Blasio made the announcement to reopen on MSNBC earlier in the day, citing the large number of residents who have received COVID-19 stabs. Our plan is to fully reopen New York City on July 1st, the mayor explained. We are ready for our stores to open, for our businesses to open, offices, theaters in full strength. What we are seeing is people have gotten stabbed in extraordinary numbers, 6.3 million stabs in New York City to date, de Blasio said. According to the mayor, the city's focus is getting the grassroots stabbed. Part of that is through events like the one taking place at the American Museum of Natural History. What? Okay, they're having stab celebrations, apparently. New Yorkers can get their stab near the whale exhibit. Oh, fan-freaking-tastic. In exchange, he will receive 4 free admissions to the... Oh, so they're giving people free admissions to the museum if they get stabbed at the museum. Well, isn't that special? Yeah, anyway. I just like the fact that little blue-on-blue crimes going on, you all can just fight it out and get them into a room together. How about a cage match? You know, we could make a big old steel cage... and put them in it, and but no, I think whoever this person was, the press secretary though, oh shit, that was with some serious shots fired. Now, you know, and again, I do have to clarify something though. I got to make sure. 'Cause let's go back to this here. Here's the tweet where Courtney Gross says. The press secretary says Bill Nyhart responds by saying, I don't care what a serial sexual harasser and assaulter and someone who covered up the deaths of thousands of people at nursing homes has to say about anything. I must clarify and I must make a correction to that. And let me fix this sentence. I don't care what an alleged serial sexual harasser and assaulter and someone who covered up the deaths of thousands of young people. Never mind. That's just funny to me. I don't know why. A ladder match would be fun. Yeah, what's the ladder match where they have to get like the briefcase? What was that called? It was remember when it was Ted DiBiase and Bret the Hitman Hart did one of those where they had to get they had the ladder match and they had the briefcase they had to get from up at the top of the ladder. That was kind of funny. Anyway, all right, gang. Kind of. Well, I almost said kind of a short show today, but actually, I'm ending on time for a change, which is rare. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so happy to be back, even though I'm still pissed off at YouTube. For you joining me today on the Morning Night Live, of course, before you do anything, I would appreciate it if you'd hit the like button because there's 42. People still here, 44, and there's 31 likes, and that should be higher than the number of people still here because people pop in and out. So hit the like button before you go, and if you appreciate what we do here, share the stream out, share the channel out. It growing slowly but surely and with loyalty. I love everyone who hangs out here. It's great. And then also, if you want to be a sponsor of the show, like Uncle Stepdad or Gunfox61 or Javadas Minehouse, that's available through the SuperChats during the show, Streamlabs 24 hours a day, Cashapp, and Venmo. All that information is in the description down below. Appreciate everyone who sponsors the show. And finally, throw a comment in the comment section if you're watching on replay, or if you're watching part of the show now, part of the show later, drop a comment. Even if it's just say, Hey, P-Dawg, I dropped a comment. That makes, I don't know, for some reason, that makes things better. I actually had someone come and watch this show that it was recommended to them by YouTube. That's a first. I'd never seen that before. So somehow it's happening. Money in the Bank. Yes. Thank you. HP Lovecraft, by the way. Thanks for being here. I'm sure somebody else said that. Did anyone say Money in the Bank? Boomer making boomer wrestling references that never happened. Wasn't it Ted DiBiase and Hitman Hart? Who was it? I know Ted DiBiase was one of them. Or there's been so many of those stupid matches. Anyway, what do you mean that never happened? I don't know. I know there's the stupid ladder matches though. The one where Bret Michaels kicked the guy from the ladder, from one ladder. They had two ladders, and he kicked the guy, did his famous kick from the ladder to the other ladder. It was pretty wild. Anyway, I've been watching a lot of classic wrestling on YouTube lately. I don't know why. A lot of now the Rock is classic wrestling. Rock versus Stone Cold, but I'm talking like Andre the Giant versus Abdullah the Butcher. Like, we're talking long time ago. Jake the Snake Roberts against anybody. The Undertaker when he was still Mean Mark. I mean, we're going way back. So I don't know why. Maybe we'll talk about that someday, because that's one of I probably shouldn't say this, but I was one of those professional wrestling fans, even though I knew it was fake. It's soap opera for men, okay? And I just love it. All right, I got to go, people. Thanks for being here. It is time for me to make that trip across town. So you guys have a great day. Have a great weekend. We might do a stream from the bar this weekend, like me and Lady Boomer do occasionally. And I am going to go and do my thing. So y'all have a great day. I got to go. My name's PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.